I feel like as though the first trade is the most important in the challenge because that is the one trade that could kind of like make or break the account. I talk about, and me and my best friend talk about this all the time. We want to make sure that on the first trade, we make sure that we get that cushion. We want to get that cushion because we want to make sure that we are as comfortable as possible. Though that'll be whether you're up 1% or 2%. I already achieved that with this account. I'm already up 2%. The worst that can happen is me going back to 100,000. Just need 8% and we're done. That's it. But we're going to do it patiently without greediness, and we are going to do it with confidence, because I think that that is one of the things that matter so much when it comes to trading, bro. You got to have confidence. You know, one of my issues most of the times that I ended up having is the fact that I will be right. I will spend about an hour doing an analysis and I know all my stuff because, man, I know all my stuff works. It's crazy enough that Mark Douglas talks about this. Is that his name? Is that his actual name, right? Mark Douglas, right? A lot of times we spent so much time doing an analysis. We spent hours studying and following the things that we're supposed to be following. And then as soon as we get to game time, as soon as we get to that trading setup, we go ahead and do the complete total opposite of what we said that we were going to do. And that's a problem. Like when I think that you become the most dangerous in this game once you have your strategy established and you say, you know what, I'm going to stick by that regardless of what happens. That's what I know. That's what I believe. And that's what I'm going with. Like an insult to your time and your trading and how much time you've actually spent if you're constantly going ahead and changing your analysis every single time you see that you get a candle up and it's almost about to hit your stop loss. Now you getting out, you're getting back in and out. And then whole time your stop loss hasn't even hit, but you are here stressing because the candle is going up. Now you're already down 1,000. All of that stuff matters. So it's all about decision making and just being able to trust your shit. You got to be able to trust it, man. I feel like here's the thing with challenges, right? I feel like the thing with challenges is that we sometimes, I mean, and this is what works for me sometimes. Again, you guys see, I got a certificate right there. And I have another one up there. You guys probably can't see it, but I've been funded before. I have been taken advantage of by some of these firms where I've had accounts and they've gone down as soon as possible. They have payout issues and that kind of stuff. So you just have to make sure that you find the right firm. That way you kind of don't get scammed out of a lot of situations. Because again, this is a money source of yours. I will always say that if you're trying to build wealth with trading, I feel like the way to go with this is to get funded and use the money from your funded accounts, right? To eventually have your own broker. Just put it in your own broker. That way you can start trading. At some point you will have to do that. Of course, you know, those payouts, you know, they're not coming out of your own money. So of course, you know, you get comfortable. But if you're also going to go the prop firm route, I do feel like you should just get funded as much as possible. Get as many funded companies as possible. Have about 10. Stack them up like you Bill Russell with 11 championships down. With the yen, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the news, but you know, the Bank of Japan is talking about increasing the rates. Every other country, everybody in the world uses Japan, you know, to borrow money to put it in other economies so that they can, you know, use it, because Japan, since they don't have any interest rate on them, it's cheaper to actually go ahead and grab a loan and then you're making money off of Japan. Now, everybody, the world economy basically depends on this, because when you have that issue and they raising rates, now it's going to cost more, you know, the loans to pay them back and all that other kind of stuff. If you guys understand that, you know, you guys can start and go and read any articles. There's a lot of articles about it, whether you go on Forge Factory, my FX book. There's a lot of things that basically go ahead and talk about this. So if you guys are interested, I'll probably put the link down below so that you guys could, you know, see what's going on. But that is the case. So any other currency that is going against the yen right now is getting smacked, because as soon as that BOJ meeting, the Bank of Japan meeting comes around, that's going to be That's gonna be huge. So the BOJ meeting is not until March 18th, which is when we're speculated for the Bank of Japan to go ahead and raise their monetary rates. So until then, that is just speculation with what we're talking about. So that is why the yen has been relatively bullish over all the other currencies. With the trade that I ended up taking yesterday, what I did was that since this is already a point of interest, now we have another gap that was supposed to get filled, but instead it failed completely. Remember what I told you guys, when areas like this, they don't get, they're supposed to be structured to continue moving up. They're going to use them as a level of support or resistance. The instances is when we don't get those fills, we come back up, fill them to continue its trajectory. So now, since that was already, so this one was already filled, we came up here and we fell from there. Now I plan on using the next one, because what was the next gap that was supposed to come up? It was supposed to be this one that we have over here. This was the gap that was supposed to push it up again. Instead, we are right below it. So now I understand that, again, what am I looking for? I'm looking for sales. My target here potentially that I'm looking to reach is going to be this one that we have all the way over here. Fill that, but we also took out the Monday low. I mean the Monday high, sorry. We ended up taking out the high from Monday. That can be used as a form of liquidity. Because again, it's like it's this one setup that's called the weekly power of three. The open of the week. It's the open. All right, so here we have what is called the open. We have the open right there. We have the high right up here, the high of the week. So this potentially right here, with the Tuesday candle taking out the Monday candle, this is most likely the high of the week, which is what we have over here. So now, again, I was just thinking of taking out this candle that we have over here. Boom. All right. And this right here will be the low of the week. So now on the 1 hour time frame, since what we had was that, I can't really back it up here. Because again, my target was reached literally in the span of an hour. So with this trade, what I ended up doing was that I saw what we call here, we took out the Monday high with this wick right here, and then we ended up having a fair value gap sitting right over here. Now this was a place that I felt comfortable, as we took out the high. Like I told you guys, we took out that daily high. Now I'm looking for the market during the London session, which is what it ended up doing. The Asia session right there, the 50% of the Asia session, right? So again, one confluence is we took out the Monday high over here, broke lower, came back to the 50% of the Asia session. And then after that, we tapped into it and then completely just went ahead and took out the low. The Monday low that we have all the way over here. And this was a pretty simple trade. I mean, it was an easy, as soon as it tapped into here, I placed my stop loss right over here at that wick. As soon as I started seeing rejection, and then that right there was roughly about 100 pips. So it was a quick 1 to 6 right during London session. The trade only took, I kid you not, look guys, this trade I got in at 145 right over here. And then literally by 245, I was already out of the trade. So as you guys can see, I am up 2.1% on my challenge account, as it's a one-step challenge and I need to reach 10% to be able to get funded. I just want to get funded as soon as possible. Because again, like that, I feel like one-step challenges, for some reason, they're just like a lot simpler, and you don't have to do, the two-step thing, and it's just really complicated, and it's just something that, again, I'm not really, trying to go through, because I feel like you got to go through one barrier to go through the second barrier. It helps when you first started to trade, but when you're kind of like a seasoned trader like I am, I mean, I just don't do two-step challenges. So I try to find the easier way to get funded. Again, right? So 2.1% with this one trade that I took over here. So you guys can see. Can I go to the close positions? So you guys can see I took two hits. Let me actually just show you guys on this one. So as you guys see on my trading history, I've only taken 5 trades, which was GBP, JPY. Here I was in with 5 lots, I believe. I was in with 5 lots, I think, and I was just targeting those lows. So 5 lots, I was only risking, I think, like $400 on this trade. So then, it was pretty quick because I was down on the challenge, I think like $700, because I kept getting in on GJ, but for some reason the stop loss that I kept setting kept getting hit. So that's why you guys see that. So again, when your stop loss gets hit and you still see that, your trade can go the direction that it's intended to go, just trust it. Just give yourself time to really calm down and think, hey, am I actually doing this the right way, or that kind of stuff. So again, I was down. I lost I lost a cool $700, but then I ended up making it all back with this GJ trade, which is, I think the total was, I think it was, it was a 1 to 6. It was like $3,000.